If there's any group of people that can keep bitter rivalries alive, it is us gamers. And right under who would win in a fight, Goku or Superman, we can find what's better, Digimon or Pokemon? Now, this isn't a video about who is right and who is wrong. I, personally, love both series and properties to the point where I'll probably be playing them until I'm rotted in a pumpkin patch somewhere. No, this video is a rant of how we gamers who play Digimon are objectively insane. For anyone unfamiliar with these different types of mons, allow me to explain. Pokemon, short for pocket monsters, are a variety of creatures that inhabit the world of Pokemon. They are similar to animals, but have unique abilities and powers. People, known as Pokemon trainers, catch and train them to battle other Pokemon, eventually evolving down a set evolution path. The franchise began with video games and expanded into an anime, trading card game, and more. The games typically involve capturing Pokemon, battling other trainers, and striving to become a Pokemon champion. Digimon, short for digital monsters, are creatures from a parallel universe called the Digital World. They are sentient beings with their own personalities and abilities. In the Digimon franchise, humans, often children who are referred to as Tamers, are paired with a Digimon partner. Together they embark on adventures to fight against evil forces threatening both the digital world and the real world. Digimon can evolve into more powerful forms through a process called Digivolution, often influenced by the bond between the Digimon and their human partner. Both franchises feature creatures that battle and evolve, but they have very different origins, storylines, and themes. Pokemon is generally a more light-hearted and family-friendly experience, while Digimon often explores more complex and mature themes.
Running away from destiny!
Now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you why I'm doing this. I recently started playing Digimon World Next Order, and my wife, taking a polite interest, asked me about the game and my goal within it, which was her first mistake. See, in order to understand the insanity that is Digimon, I had to start with explaining the plot of the game. See, I couldn't just say, oh, well, I have little monster guys that I need to level up and evolve them to save the world. See, while this is technically correct, it doesn't really give you the big picture. The plotline in most Digimon games, though it varies, at its core is typically something like, hey kids, welcome to Digital World. Here's a digital Satan or some other world-ending evil. Fight it. On top of that, Digimon is inherently more complex with more depth involved in its evolutions and trainings, and it wasn't like I wasn't not going to talk about that. See, unlike Pokemon where you can get by with 4 moves and some straightforward evolutions, Digimon throws you a curveball with its intricate Digivolution paths and the ability to learn more than 4 moves. Every day you spend in the digital world is a battle for survival, and there are no Poke Centers in sight. So, to provide context on the game, you'll start by picking your Tamer and finding a Digivice. All of a sudden, you are warped into the digital world with 2 Digimon who give you the business about forgetting them. Then, you have some asshole Digimon walking up to you and deciding he doesn't like you, your partners, or what you stand for. So naturally, we begin to fight. While we do our best to defeat the evil Digimon, we do get beat down fairly quickly. Though, worry not, see, our Digimon are also capable of more than one type of evolution. In this instance, we also have something called EXE, or Extra Cross Evolution. This allows our already 2 awesome partner Digimon to fuse into one even cooler Digimon. So we find ourselves going through an awesome anime transformation, we use our stupid cool super attack, and we vanquish our evil foe. Now, we may be thinking, wow, this game is easy, it's barely going to be an inconvenience, we have these powerful partner Digimon. Well, so no, they actually die right after this. But there is no worry. See, these partner Digimon go through a circle of reincarnation, unlike every other Digimon in the game who seems to just stay alive. With our partners, upon rebirth, we choose from eggs available, and our partners will take those new Digimon forms and retain a sliver of their original stats. Which is great because next comes a core loop of the game and where we find ourselves going a little insane. The core aspect of most Digimon games is to raise the stats of your Digimon to improve their combat prowess In Digimon, your monsters don't evolve with levels like they do in Pokemon. In Digimon, this is all stat and time dependent. Most of the pathways, especially the later evolutions, are functionally unobtainable in your Digimon's first few reincarnations. You'll need to work to raise the stats of your partners through a handful of evolution stages to start seeing those more powerful mons. Digimon, barring some exceptions, typically have 6 main Digivolution stages: Fresh, In Training, Rookie, Champion, Ultimate, and Mega. Digivolving from Fresh to In Training will only require time, but each subsequent stage will require you to raise your stats to evolve. You can accomplish this by either taking your Digimon into combat and having them defeat foes, or using the gym in order to focus on raising individual stats. Combat will see you getting more or less paltry results. You can still earn stats from it, but really what you're going to be doing is training. Now the problem with training is the amount of points that you can earn for your stats is very low in the beginning, and it will only really get you through the first few stages. Though we can further inflate these points by feeding our Digimon certain food before training. We can also upgrade the gym itself when the opportunity becomes available. Now with the food, unless we're swimming in cash and able to purchase them, or have gotten really lucky on our RNG drops, we probably won't have a lot to choose from, and each food raises specific stats. If you do find yourself with a lot of food, that's great, but it does cost you some of your limited bag slots. Adding to this, the act of training itself wears your Digimon's stamina down, and if you push them too far, they can break bones, become sick, or in some cases, die outright. Another thing to consider is that your mons do need to eat and sleep regularly, or they will gradually become more and more unhappy with you, and this can eventually lead to sickness and again, death, which is less than ideal since we do want our Digimon to live as long as possible before reincarnating. Aside from the core stats, your Digimon also have bond and discipline. The bond that Digimon hold with each other is what makes the extra cross evolutions possible, while the bond they have with you, the Tamer, will also further influence their Digivolution. In order to raise bond, you're going to have to ensure that your Mon eat, sleep, and poop. Yes, poop. Neglecting them in any of these ways will lower the bond, and in the instance of the poop, it make a mess. In terms of discipline, this is doled out via training and encouragement. Some Digivolutions require a certain amount of discipline and want it to be a high amount, like with Angemon requiring over 70, or a low amount like Lady Devimon, who requires it to be less than 39. Either way, you think, hey, I'd be satisfied with more or less any Mon I get, right? Right? Once you understand the stat system and you kind of get into the full swing of things, you're going to be rotating the care of your Digimon with training, so that way you can keep them happy while ultimately raising their stats. Digimon is unique from Pokemon in the way that every Digimon has multiple evolutions that can be pursued at each stage. You may think, hey, it's great, I have all these options. Well, unfortunately, you're not going to know what stats you need until you train your Digimon enough at its current stage to unlock the next stage's Digimon's requirements bit by bit. Digimon also considers all of your partner stats for all of its available evolutions, so let's say you need a strength of 1500 for Greymon, you're also going to be fulfilling the criteria for Meramon too, as they only need a strength of 350. This can cause some frustrating outcomes when you have your mind set on a cool fire-breathing dinosaur and instead you get a dude on fire. But there are even worse outcomes, like, hey, let's say we see this super cool wolf guy and our stats are getting close and we're very excited. Careful training and development has led to this moment and it's almost finally time to digivolve. But wait, what's this? In all our efforts to evolve our partner, we accidentally let our poop gauge get filled up? All our hard work gone because, you know what happens? We get a literal pile of shit. God, I hate Sukamon. Why do you exist? Is it to torment me specifically? It is, isn't it? Why is there even a platinum Sukamon? Shiny shit is still shit. The most frustrating part of your Digivolutions in Digimon is that you will more often than not get the Digivolutions you don't want. You can't go back, you can't undo it. All you can do is keep the grind up until your Mons eventually die and then go through the whole reincarnation process again and again and again. Our hope is to eventually get a passable Digimon that we wouldn't mind being seen in public with. The grind in Digimon is often criticized for being time-consuming and sometimes repetitive, and I think I've talked enough about that frustration here. The nice part about it, though, is that when you learn to manage the lifespans and those training periods become more effective, it becomes very rewarding. See, having your Digimon evolve and become more powerful really brings something special to the experience, especially when you start consistently hitting those higher Digivolution stages. But in order to reach these levels of satisfaction, you're going to have to grind again and grind again and grind again. Sometimes this can take you hours or even days to reach a desired result, which is either insane or a true testament to skill and determination. That is, unless you end up with Sukamon for the 100th time, grinding for an awesome Mon time and time again, only to end up with Sukamon is truly the meaning of insanity, and don't get me started on Numamon. I'm looking at you, Slug Guy. You may find yourself questioning the sanity of a Digimon player to put up with all of these mechanics and all of this grind, but perhaps that madness is born of a passion and a desire to conquer all that the digital world has to offer with partners of their own design. Whether you yourself are a fan of Pokemon's serene simplicity, or you're more a fan of Digimon's daunting depths, there's no denying the allure of these digital domains. So, pick your side, grab your Digivice or your Pokeball, and get out there and start your adventure. But if you do pick Digimon, you might be insane. I'm the CryptdPumpkn, and this was my nonsensical rant on Digimon. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any stories of insanity-inducing Digimon playthroughs, be sure to comment them down below. Stay lovely out there. Until next time.